Good evening. Hello, everybody. How are y'all? Tommy Mason here. And a long, long time ago in the galaxy far, far away, I joined the Navy back in 1976. And 20 years later, I retired. So I'm a retired Navy veteran. And then I was able to go with the Coast Guard, but I was in the Navy, but I worked for the Coast Guard because I was Coast Guard Civil Service. So that was kind of nice because I was continued to allow to be around military. So my whole entire adult military career was around military with either Navy or Coast Guard because I retired out of the Coast Guard with 18 years working civil service. I was purchasing in the Navy. I was an aircraft mechanic and I was also air crew. So I fixed them and I flew in them as well. And then for the Coast Guard, I started out as a mechanic and then I got into procurement where I was purchasing aircraft parts for the Coast Guard airplanes. And that was fine. I enjoyed it and got 2 pensions from it. And so now I'm fully retired. And
Thank you for your service, Brother Tommy. We
thank
really
you.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you for your support. I was a
Oh, of
minesweeper
course.
and I would clear shipping lanes of mines and stuff. And so I've gone around to 30 different countries. I've been to Asia twice. Lovely people. I love them over there. They're so family orientated and they'll talk to anybody. They're very friendly people. I love Asians. Then I got to go to Europe and I did the Persian Gulf as well. So I'm a world traveler. I've been in 30 different countries. And then this guy, David Allen, called me up one day and said, we need to talk. And I met David about 5 years ago. We were in another business together. And that's where I met him and his wife. And I've known them. They've been good friends to us. But he called me up and he goes, we need to talk. I said, okay, about what? He said, well, I got this new business proposal. I want to run it by you. And I said, well, David, that sounds great, but I'm not interested. And that was a year ago. Shoot me in the head. But he didn't let go. And he was persistent. And he called me up again. And he goes, this time you really need to talk. I said, okay. So this time I listened. And I'm thanking God that I did. Because what happened was, and this is where it gets a little bit emotional for me. My wife and I, we have been going to the doctor's office for the last 18 years together. And we've been in and out of the doctor's offices. It's amazing to me they didn't kill her, because I remember one doctor who put her on Oxycontin, and for 3 months that woman walked around like a deer in headlights. She doesn't remember those 3 months. That doctor actually ended up in prison because he killed a couple of people with the way he was distributing the drugs, the Oxycontin. Well, but I've learned that that's all these doctors have is an alternative. That's either drugs or surgery. And Barbara's done both. She's had both surgery and drugs. And she gave you a little bit of a list of what she's gone through. She's had fibromyalgia. She's had arthritis. She slipped and fell in the shower. She fractured her spine. She's had, did I say arthritis? Yes. She has silent acid reflux, and it never goes away. It's constant. She told me one time, it's like you're drinking water, and it's like you're drinking boiled water. Her mouth was constantly on fire.
No.
That experience is, And she's had dry eyes. I was always watching her put eye drops in her eyes. She's got allergies. She's had asthma. That's how, when I first met her, she had asthma. And that's how I would find her in the store. I could just, where's she at? Okay, listen for the cough. Oh, there she is. Yeah, so she's gone through a lot. And right now she's experiencing sleep apnea and she's using the machine. But Thursday, we went to the doctor on that, and they're wanting to take her off some more medication, and they want to retest her because it looks like she's coming off the sleep apnea machine as well. And what's really encouraging to me was 2 weeks ago, she went to the doctor for a 6-month checkup. And the doctor said, your blood pressure went down, your A1C went down, and your cholesterol went down. She says, now remember now, this is a 6-month checkup. After finding out all those went down, the doctor goes, you don't need to come back for a year. Barbara walked out of there with the biggest smile on her face. It was so pleasing. And I know that a lot of this has to do with the X39 because she's been on it since January. And so we've seen all those. Now, bear in mind, the fibromyalgia, she had that way back, and we really can't contest that the X39 took care of the fibromyalgia, but everything else we can. And for me, I used to be in the Navy. I went over to the Gulf. Before that, I'd sleep 8 hours a night. After the Gulf, Persian Gulf War, because I did Desert Storm, Desert Shield, I'd come back and I'd every 2 hours I'd wake up and go back to sleep. And I did that all night long. Roll over, go to sleep, roll over, go to sleep, roll over, go to sleep. And now I love my silent night because, and my X39, it's on. I got that on too. And why I like my silent night? Because I'm sleeping through the night.
All right.
Nice. And this morning I got up. I got up. I just sat in the chair and I'm like, it took me 30 minutes to actually wake up because I was in that deep of a sleep. And I haven't been like that for years. I love my silent night. Now, that's what it's done for me and the wife. And I can't amplify anything else other than that because she told me that, look, I don't care what you do with LifeWave, but I'm going to be on LifeWave for the rest of my life. And I figured, okay, well, if that's the case, I might as well build it. Let's make some money.
There we go.
And with that being said, for me, it's not about the money. It's about helping others. All through this presentation, that's what I heard. Helping people, helping people, helping people have a better quality of life.
Yes.
After seeing what the wife has gone through, and now folks, I feel like my wife's been given back to me.
All right.
Why is that important? Because before LifeWave, back in the fall and winter of 2022, she was sitting on the couch all day long in pain because it was either her back or her hips because of her arthritis. And she'd sit there and watch TV all day long. Can't do anything. Now, why is that important? Because her dream was to retire and be in her sewing room. And she's got a very big sewing room, a lot of equipment, a lot of material. And that's her dream. She's been sewing since 8 years old. And now that she's on the patches, she's got her life back and she's living her dream because she's in that sewing room now all the time.
Cool.
Not on the couch anymore, watching TV. The TV doesn't even come on. It's just, nobody's there to watch it because I'm over here working LifeWave and she's over there doing her sewing. That's her dream. And it was so, thank you. It was so emotional. It was so wonderful to see her be in that room. Because there's a lot of money in there. And it was just, every day was just, there was no Barbara in there. And I knew that was, that's why I'm so thankful that David and Lynda was persistent with me and didn't give up on me.
All right.
Yes, they deserve that because David has been so good to us. He's there for us every time I call him. If he can't talk to me, he texts me and says, I'll be with you in a minute. And then he calls me back. And that within that same day, he's there for us. Every time I've lined up somebody to do a 3-way call, he's professional on the phone. He's done a great job. I'm so happy to have him as a sponsor. I can't thank him enough. He deserves that credit. That's why I wanted to say a few things about David and Lynda. They've been there for us and they've been good friends and he's loyal. and he's faithful, and I can trust him, and I know he's got my back. And these are the kind of people that
Amen.
are in LifeWave. These are the kind of people that are in LifeWave. These are the kind of people that we're working with. You know, they said it earlier. You want to have some friends? Join LifeWave. Yeah, we have high value people that have good family values, and you can trust these people. And that means so much in today's world. So I thank you, David and Lynda. And guess what? Not only that, but a couple of weeks ago, Ed, Milan, and Lorenzo and David all flew down to work with a friend of mine who's in North Carolina. We spent the day together.
Wow.
It was awesome. I mean, they bought us lunch, they bought us dinner, and Lorenzo goes, Tommy, what kind of questions do you have? And every time I had a question, he was right there with the answers. And he encouraged me. Now, yes, my goal is to do senior director. Yep. Because I feel that's feasible for me right now. And
Yes.
I believe it's obtainable. But guess what? That's temporary for me. Because I'll be moving on. Without a doubt.
That's amazing.
Yes. And so with that being said, there's one more person I want to bring up. My son-in-law. What a deal. He has RSD. It's an extreme, painful situation. He fell off a ladder while he was at work about 18 to 19 years ago now. And his foot went into a ditch, and it just took his foot from, being vertical like that to like this. And it tore every tendon in his foot. And it's very severe, very painful. And sometimes it just brings tears to my eyes. Just one day he has to go to the hospital a lot because he's in pain. And what happened was, my daughter's in, and she's on this right now, and she's listening because she's in LifeWave with us. And she puts the patches on his foot. She puts the patches on his place, different places on his body. And matter of minutes, pain is gone. He is a firm believer in these patches. And that to me is a godsend, between watching what the wife has gone through, knowing what Jason's gone through, that these patches are there, that they can do what they're doing. Yeah, they are a miracle, without a doubt in my mind. They
Amen.
really are.
Amazing.
But
That is amazing.
that I think that pretty much sums it up for me. Oh, by the way, as far as talking to people, I've talked to people in the Philippines, I've talked to people in Europe, I've talked to people in, I think I was talking to one lady in Japan, and I've talked to several people across the United States. My goal and what I'm looking at is I'm a veteran. I'm military. I can walk into a Walmart and there's a guy in the store. He's wearing, a veteran hat, and I walk up, we immediately connect. We're like this little family. And what did you do? Well, this is what I did. And we just converse. It's a total stranger, but we're not. Yeah. But we're not strangers because we've done something together. We're in that that veteran group. And so Ed Milan goes, well, Tommy, maybe you should think about going after veterans and talk to veterans. I said, Ed, you got a point there. That's my niche.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do. I need to talk to other veterans. They suffer from PTSD. They come back with that. Yeah, that is a biggie. And we have the answer for them.
That's right.
Called Nirvana. We have the solution for that. So now what I'm doing is I'm focusing on veterans. Why not? I spent my whole entire career with them, whether it was Navy or Coast Guard. We click. And so, yeah, that's my niche. I'm going after the veterans.
All right.
Man.
That is a great idea.
I think
Wow,
Ed,
wow.
Ed's idea, he brought it to my attention, and he had something there, and he was right.
There we go.
The point. That's the point. Your upline they got some good ideas. Get in their back pocket and listen to them. And my suggestion is going to be two things. One, get into the back pocket of your upline and listen to them and do what they tell you to do, because it could be for your benefit.
That's right.
I've been doing that with mine. I've told you that a couple of times now. The second suggestion I'm going to have is in October 12th, we're going to be down in Orlando. And I would
Yes.
recommend that you bring as many people with you as you possibly can, because when you're down there and you're in the middle of all that and they're hipping around, they're yelling and screaming and shouting and all, you're going to be wishing you had some downline there.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's my suggestion. Get in your back pocket of your upline and get as many people as you can down to October 12th, because I'm going.
All right. I will see you there, Brother Tommy.
Yeah, me too.
Sir, thank
That
you
is
for
very
this
rare.
opportunity to talk to you guys. I appreciate the opportunity and thank you very much. It was an honor for me.